A woman is running for governor in Wisconsin. She breastfed her baby in the commercial. She's a hero to some moms, and she might be one of the most schizophrenic people that I've ever seen in politics. Ever. I'm Randall Terry. This is Voice of Resistance. My wife and I started off the day watching a political campaign ad done by Kelda Roys, one of 17 Democrat candidates running for governor in the state of Wisconsin. This is one of the best political campaign ads I've ever seen. I'm going to let you watch it and then talk to you from my heart.
When I was in the state assembly, I learned about BPA, which was a toxic chemical that was totally unregulated, and it was everywhere. It was in can liners and in baby bottles and sippy cups, and it gets into whatever the baby is drinking. And this was horrifying to me. How could our government let this dangerous chemical be in all these products? So I said, well, Wisconsin is going to be the first state to ban BPA in baby bottles and sippy cups. I was putting together my legislative update, and I went door to door to hand it out. Approached this one door, and even before it opened, it was a summer day, and I could hear the sound of kids. Woman opens the door, and I kind of hand her my legislative update and grabs it and slams the door and runs back to deal with whatever her kids are yelling about. I'm off to the next house, already up the driveway. Oh, honey, it's okay. Yeah. And I hear her calling after me. And she said, I just read that you are working on the BPA-Free Kids Act. Yeah, and I start to tell her, bisphenol A is a neurotoxin. She said, I know. Our daughter's had some problems, and the doctor said that it's because she was exposed to BPA. It really means so much to me that you're taking this issue to heart. That's what's wrong with politics today. Are we taking our orders from people, or are we taking them from chemical corporations that don't care at all about what people need? We still were able to, by working across the aisle, passed a bill to ban BPA, and Wisconsin was indeed one of the very first states to do that. That was an incredible moment because you realize how totally important the work that we do is. Government should be about helping every person achieve his or her potential, and Wisconsin used to do it so well. Democracy only works when we all get involved.
I mean, you can see why it's creating a buzz. And she really was a heroine fighting against BPA because of its impact on human health. So I tip my hat for her efforts to fight against chemicals that can adversely affect children. The problem is that she supports chemicals that will kill children. Kelda, I hope you're watching this. The inconsistency, the treachery, the duplicity in your life and in your arguments and in your politics is mind-boggling. You see, folks, she believes in killing babies by abortion. Now, using her logic to support killing babies, why should the people who make BPA be prohibited? I mean, she believes that she can make a choice to kill another human being, right? To adversely affect the development and growth of another human being, ripping them out limb from limb and throwing them in a garbage can. So who is she to impose her morals on the manufacturers of BPA? You understand, of course, that her argument is you should not be able to affect this decision. This decision is between me and my doctor, my God, whoever. But she has the right to terminate the life of another human being. Well, if makers of BPA want to manufacturing that impacts negatively the lives of other human beings, who is she to impose her morals on them? Who is she to tell them what to do? This is the warning. Here comes the warning. This is for Kelda and for those who are enemies of the right to life. These are the babies who have died by chemicals. These are the babies, images of the children who have died because of her position and the position of thousands of others like her, that it should be the right of a woman to take the life of another woman or another boy or of a little boy by abortion. And friend, this goes to one other thing that I want to tell you. I'm going to go a little bit long here. People who are evildoers can be pretty, they can be handsome, they can be articulate, they can be loving in a certain area. I mean, clearly, if you watch her interacting with her baby, she's a loving mom. There are many evil people in the world who are loving fathers, loving mothers. That was one of the things that came out of the concentration camps as they began to analyze the people who worked there. Some of them had very stable, loving family lives. They could separate. I can be a loving father and I can kill other fathers. I can go home, have dinner with my wife and children, and I can, during my day job, I can kill Jews. If you've ever seen the movie The Red and the Black, you know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't seen it, it's with Christopher Plummer and Gregory Peck. It is one of the best movies that you could see. It's a great movie, and it goes exactly to this point. Christopher Plummer plays the Nazi who was in charge of Rome during the Nazi occupation. A loving husband, a loving father, a murderer. Okay? Watch the movie so that you can see the duplicity in that human being and then apply it to people who are running for office, who on one hand fight against BPA and on the other hand fight for the right to murder an innocent human being. People of Wisconsin, do everything in your power to keep Kelda Roys in the private sector and to keep her out of the governor's mansion, because your state and the unborn babies of your state will be the better for it. Kelda, God forgive you, God help you repent. Today, many so-called Christian intellectuals believe that the God of evolution used billions of years of death and destruction to evolve the bodies of the first human beings. Then, they simply declare the theory of evolution as fact to justify their unproven scientific fallacies. By the grace of God, more and more Catholics are rejecting this modern-day mythology in favor of the traditional doctrine of creation, as recorded by the Bible, and believed and taught by all the fathers and doctors of the Church. To find out how sound theology and natural science confirm the sacred history of Genesis, visit the Colby Center for the Study of Creation, and be sure to check out our bookstore, which has titles like I Have Spoken to You from Heaven, A Catholic Defense of Creation in 6 Days, and A Catholic Assessment of Evolutionary Theory. That's the Colby Center for the Study of Creation.